Wokers. This is your girl, Chantella Wallace. I am calling in because I just heard about this. At first, I was just logging in so that I might just drop a little hints about subjects that we're talking about. We're going to have an all-female panel between 5 and 6 women panel on Wednesday. So y'all have to tune in. We're talking about dating. We're talking about a checklist, how realistic a checklist, interracial dating. I got a couple of panelists in, and I told them I'm going to be asking real questions that people want to know. I'm talking about how you have maybe lowered your expectations when you get older, the type of man we were shooting for when we were younger, now that we're in our 50s and 60s. Just different things on relationship. And if there is a man that would like to be on the panel, please feel free to reach out to me. So, but today, something very serious came across my desk today. While I was in a meeting, I received a notification about a young man at Gettysburg College. Someone carved nigger in his chest. He is, I believe, 2 black swimmers on the team. And yeah, this is huge. It's 2024. It is 2024. And to have something like that transpire in 2024, it's disturbing. It's disturbing. So I'm going to play this video because I just got it. This happened on September the 16th. So just listen up, and this is something we need to talk about because we cannot have this going on in 2024. Give me one moment. I had logged out and came back in. Have to cue the video. So give me a moment.
Live from near the Gettysburg campus, and she has the latest.
Evan, good evening. Yeah, that statement coming late last night as this story continues to garner national media attention. Now today, a spokesperson for the college told me that their investigation is closed as the student accused of doing the carving is no longer enrolled at Gettysburg, and they are working with the victim and his family on a productive path forward. But meanwhile, still a lot of questions here on campus about the incident. Gettysburg College has fallen under the national spotlight after a recent incident involving members of its men's swim team. A student is accused of using a box cutter to carve the N-word into another student's chest. Really? It allegedly happened at an informal social gathering, which took place at an on-campus residence, according to the school's president. That student is no longer enrolled at Gettysburg, though it's unclear if the swimmer was expelled.
I can't say that I'm surprised. Very unfortunate that this is what gave the school attention in a way, because I feel like there are really good things that do happen in the school.
Students with the college's Black Student Union and African Student Association tell Fox 43 they're disappointed in what they say is a lack of transparency from the school in handling the situation.
My friend sent me a TikTok like, this your school, right? I was like, damn, this is my school.
Especially me being the Black Student Union president. Not once was I reached out to anybody from the school to let us know what is going on. We understand that they can't give us all the details, but at least letting us know something that they are conducting this investigation. They are taking this situation seriously.
They say they don't feel less safe because of the incident.
We feel that this situation is not reflective of the culture here at Gettysburg, but it still does show things that do happen at this school.
I don't want the narrative to be Black people in Gettysburg feel unsafe.
The Gettysburg men's swim team released its own statement late Wednesday night, saying in part, quote, "We acknowledge the past few weeks have been extraordinarily difficult for many people within our campus community and beyond." The statement continues, quote, "The national spotlight has unfortunately led some to believe that our team or the culture within our team is complicit in the racist incident that took place. This couldn't be further from the truth." End quote. This incident was not tied to the swim team. It was not a team-sanctioned event. It was not hazing. It was not endorsed by our team. This incident does not reflect our values or who we are.
We want to steer away from this actual incident just because we don't have all of the information on it, and more so focus on how we can improve as a community and be more accepting of everybody and how we can empower the Black students that we do have on campus.
Now, the college's president has addressed the incident in 2 separate campus-wide letters, saying in part that the school community as a whole
Okay, let her finish and say what the school did.
is upset, and that the student conduct investigation, quote, affirmed that the incident is not a byproduct of an unhealthy athletic team culture or a reflection on the team itself. He also has asked the school's chief diversity officer to lead a process that will help the school community understand, reflect, and learn from the incident.
So through your reporting, you say the college closed its investigation. So the question is, have any charges been filed with local police?
No, Evan, no charges filed. I did speak with the Gettysburg Borough Police Chief today. He says no report at this time has been made to its department. He says that he actually learned about the incident through media reports, and when he did, he reached out to the college, who told him that the victim has decided to have everything handled through the school's disciplinary process. Evan?
All right, Fox 43 is...
Okay, so that was definitely a lot. I just cannot believe in 2024 that we as a people are still going through this. But there are a lot of questions. And I hate when people, it's kind of here and there when people jump the gun. So if the guy isn't pressing charges, at first I was just outraged, extremely outraged. And so I started researching what took place, what happened. And so he is one of 2 Black swimmers on the Gettysburg College swim team. And one of his swim mates carved nigger into his chest. So, of course, y'all know me. Y'all know I was livid. Edges almost went backwards like this. But my thing is, was the guy held down? First of all, the first thing that brought my boiling point down was the young man did not press charges. He did not even report the incident. Someone else, they found out on social media. The law enforcement found out on social media. So that right there, I mean, mother's tuition, law enforcement background, criminal justice major, that right there lets you just think like, well, something else to this story. So I'm not going to be mad and outraged and go crazy now until I find out what the facts are. So I didn't know if you guys had seen it yet. Just wanted to know what you thought about it. What do you think? Because in the beginning, all I knew is that some guy carved nigger into a minority's chest with a box cutter. And so, box cutters are used to cut boxes, or back in the day when you squabble, that's the blade of choice that you use. It was easy to pop out and it cuts very deep. So the school said the student is no longer there. The student, the victim, we're going to call him a victim now because we don't know. He may have gave them permission to carve something in his chest and they messed around and carved nigger. He may have told them, it may have been something that the swimmers have, a branding process. So I cannot get outraged until we hear from the student. But it's just really, really strange that the student didn't report anything. He didn't report anything to the campus. He didn't report anything to the police. So we have to hang tight and just see what the facts are. First, I was pissed when I heard the African-American Student Union president say that, but then when I finished looking and doing my research and found out the guy didn't make a report, that's kind of suspicious. Now, if he was forced down and they held him, then I'm about to blow my top all over again, like I did in the beginning. But again, I mean, what would I have to get I just don't understand, why would you allow anybody to take a box cutter to carve something on you, period, if it was voluntarily. Now, again, if he was forced, which it just by the information, the non-reporting, unless he's scared to death. It may not have been forced, but what would cause someone, I know fraternities, they do the branding, the Q dogs and things like that. And I'm not sure if they even can do that nowadays, but, in some communities, instances, they consider that barbaric. And it's also, traditional. So I just want to know what y'all thoughts are. It was tons of people online saying, well, how did they hold him down? How did one person just carve him? So it was two students that were suspended. And the school knows more information, because if all you did was suspend him and didn't report this to campus security, because of course it's definitely aggravated assault if he didn't agree with it. Shanta, I agree with you. It's crazy as hell. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all that you will allow somebody to take a box cutter and carve any damn thing into your chest. So what if, anything could have happened. So just realistically crazy. And the other thing is, where did it take place? Was it on campus? Was it on campus? And the fact that the Black union president, student president, and then the other African, because there's a bunch of African, is one guy, he was outraged, and he probably was like me. I watched his video first. That's why I was so mad. But then when I watched the other videos, and it's like, it may not have been forcefully done. And then so I just said I have to wait for the facts, because plenty of times, when we get the first story, we jump to conclusion. But I was just wondering how the school just wondering how the school, they said they suspended, both of the students were suspended. And if it happened on school grounds, most definitely, some things that happen off of school ground in this age of technology, where things can be recorded and everything. Some things are, you can still be held accountable. And people know this, especially young people know this outside of your job activities. You can still be held accountable for the things that you do. So, and Tammy, you're right. Definitely want to get more detailed information, because I was first getting on here. Thank you for tuning in, Tammy, from Georgia. I was definitely just like, oh, I was pissed. The first video I watched, because a young man, he sounded just like me. He was African-American student. He was passionate. He was like, this is uncalled for. These are monsters. But the fact that the authorities weren't involved, and the authorities heard about it through social media, but he could be scared to report it. We don't know, but we're definitely waiting for more details. But we'll definitely be talking about this in the future, just to see what's going on with this case. Well, it's not a case with this situation, because it hasn't been reported to the authorities. And I just want to, it's just crazy. So I just wanted you guys to take a look at the video. There's a few videos with different students. And another thing that puzzled me is when the African-American, like the young lady, and then the Black student body president, he was saying, well, no, we don't feel that this is a non-safe environment. So that's y'all know me, I put my Columbo hat on. For those of y'all who don't know Columbo, I don't know who to give y'all, because Columbo is the one that, one more question. So I was like, tell me, Columbo. I was like, one more question. Okay. How did they find out about it? The second question is, these young people record everything. Is there a recording? I think the recording will say a lot. Now, me, just in common sense, do not think that a minority student would give permission for anyone to carve nigger on their chest. I don't think they would, but the actual process of the actual agreement of, oh yeah, you can carve something. It could have had something to do with swim team or whatever. The permissions aspect is what's suspect here. So we will stay tuned. When I find out any other information, I will definitely let you guys know. But thank you for those of you who tuned in. But yeah, make sure you just go look at the videos, check it out, see what you find out. If you find out anything different that I don't have already, please feel free to send it to me. I definitely want to continue this story and see where it goes. If it was just youth indiscretion and dumbness and So let's see. I'm hoping and praying it was not a physical assault. So thank you again for tuning in. Remember to tune in Wednesday, honey. We have 5 to 6 women on this panel, and we will be talking about everything relationship-wise, the checklist, that infamous checklist. Should you get rid of your checklist? Is a checklist stopping you from having someone as a companion? So tune in Wednesday on Stay Woke at 6:00 p.m. Y'all already know. Before you go to sleep, you got to do what?